The gymnasium was alive with music, glittering lights, and the hum of laughter. But in one shadowed corner, 18-year-old Elara stood frozen, clutching the hem of her pale blue dress like it was a lifeline. She had dreamed about this night for weeks, maybe months. The school dance was supposed to be her chance to finally fit in, to stop being the new girl and start being someone people actually saw. But she didn't know that within the next hour, that same dress would be hanging from her shoulders in shreds, and the very people who mocked her would be lying in a hospital bed, their laughter replaced by groans of pain and regret. Before we go any further, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and standing up for those who can't stand up for themselves, then please take a second to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Ripple of Hope. Your support helps stories like this reach more hearts. Elara had transferred to Maplewood High only 2 months ago, her family moving from a small town after her father's job collapsed and their savings dried up. She was the quiet type, not shy, exactly, but careful. She knew how cruel teenagers could be to someone different. She dressed simply, wore her hair in a loose braid, and kept her head down in the hallways. Most days, she ate lunch alone in the library. But she had a secret. Elara had been a competitive dancer since she was 5, winning small-town trophies and regional medals. Her mother had sewn her practice dresses by hand. Dancing wasn't just a hobby, it was the one place she felt powerful. She hadn't danced in front of anyone since moving here, though. She didn't want to give the bullies ammunition. Tonight was supposed to be different. Her mother had found the blue dress at a thrift store and spent 3 nights altering it until it fit perfectly. When Elara first tried it on, she saw herself in the mirror and almost didn't recognize the girl staring back, elegant, graceful, someone worth looking at. She promised herself she'd stay on the edges of the dance floor, maybe sway to a slow song, and avoid drawing attention. But fate had other plans. Halfway through the night, when the DJ switched to an upbeat pop remix, Elara stepped onto the dance floor for the first time. She kept her movements small at first, swaying with the rhythm. She closed her eyes for just a second, letting herself feel the music, and when she opened them, 3 girls stood in front of her. Madison, the queen bee of Maplewood High, and her 2 loyal shadows. They smiled, but it wasn't the friendly kind. Without warning, Madison reached for the hem of Elara's dress. One sharp tug and the fabric tore. The sound was loud enough to cut through the music. Gasps rose from the crowd as laughter followed, the kind that burns into your skin. Elara's face flushed crimson. She felt the eyes of the entire gym on her, staring, judging, enjoying the show. The girls didn't stop. They pulled again, ripping more fabric, until one strap snapped and the dress hung awkwardly, barely covering her. Someone filmed it on their phone. Her heart pounded in her ears. But here's where the story took a turn no one expected. Instead of running away, something inside Elara snapped. Years of staying quiet, years of swallowing hurt, years of shrinking herself just to survive, all of it exploded in that moment. She dropped her hands from the torn dress, straightened her back, and took a step forward. The music thumped in her chest like a war drum. And then she spun. It started slow, just a pivot of her foot, but then her body remembered what her mind had tried to forget. Her arms extended, her skirt, torn though it was, flared like a storm, and the crowd gasped. She spun faster, each turn sharper than the last. The dance floor cleared instinctively, giving her space. The bullies, who had been smirking, tried to grab at her again, but she moved like water, slipping past their hands. In one breathtaking movement, she spun right into them. The force of her turn caught Madison's wrist, sending her stumbling back into her friends. One lost her balance completely and crashed into a metal drinks table. Another tripped over the speaker cable and fell hard, clutching her ankle. The music screeched to a halt as teachers rushed forward. By the time it was over, all 3 bullies were on the floor, groaning, one with a twisted ankle, one with a fractured wrist, and one bleeding from a cut on her forehead. The room was silent. Elara stood there, chest heaving, the torn blue dress fluttering around her legs. She wasn't smiling, but she wasn't crying either. For the first time since she'd arrived at Maplewood High, she felt completely seen. The principal escorted the injured girls out to the ambulance, and whispers rippled through the crowd. A few people even clapped. Later, some would say she planned it, that it was some sort of martial arts trick. But those who really saw her knew it wasn't violence, it was grace, unleashed at the exact moment she needed it most. Over the next few weeks, the video of that night spread online. Most captions painted her as the quiet girl who taught bullies a lesson without throwing a single punch. Messages of support flooded her DMs. People she didn't even know sat with her at lunch. She was invited to join the school's dance club, where she began teaching routines. Madison and her crew returned to school eventually, humbled and silent. They never apologized out loud, but the look in their eyes when they passed her in the hallway was enough. And Elara? She never went back to hiding. She wore bright colors now, kept her hair down, and danced at every opportunity. She didn't become the most popular girl in school, but she became something far better, untouchable. Not because people feared her, but because she finally believed in her own strength. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Ripple of Hope. Your engagement helps us bring more real, moving stories into the world, reminding people that courage can bloom in the most unexpected moments. Before you go, we have a special request. Comment below and tell us about a time you stood up for yourself or someone else. Your story might just inspire someone to find their own strength.